Hello, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another DB2 SQL function, which is date. In our previous session, we learned about the timestamp function, current timestamp, right? And we decided instead of using separate column for current date and current time, we were using the timestamp. Now, suppose there is a scenario where you are using current timestamp you have stored current timestamp in one column, and in program you need a date from that particular timestamp. So how we can fetch this? So to fetch that particular date, we can use date function itself. How? For that I will show you the program. Here what we are doing, first of all we are declaring the constant variable SQL state underscore valid, and this variable we are going to use to check whether the query is executed properly or not. Below to this we are declaring one another variable named as result, and the data type of this variable is date. And then we are setting the commitment control as star none, and here we are using the main query. So what I am doing here, I am executing SQL select date, and inside this I am passing the current timestamp function. So what it will do, firstly it will fetch the current timestamp, and from that current timestamp date function will fetch the date only. Okay, and that output will would be stored into this result host variable. And from where we are getting this data? From the system library itself, sys ibm.sysdummy1. So what it will do, it will fetch the current date, it will fetch the date from the current timestamp. Okay, now below to this what we are doing, we are checking for the SQL state. If SQL state equals to SQL state underscore valid, then we are printing the result, else we are printing the SQL state with a message query ended with an error, and then doing the star inlr equals to star on. So let's quickly compile this program and call this program. So you can see it is printing the date as 20230902. Okay, so we are printing the current date. But if you look at the query, we were using the current timestamp, but from the current timestamp we are again using the date function. So what it will do, it will fetch the date from the current timestamp. All right, so how we can use the same thing over the DB2 SQL query itself? Yes, we can use it. So before that I will show you the exact data on which we are going to implement this thing. So my table name is table1. Here you can see we have one column for timestamp. Now let's say if we want to print only the date from this timestamp, so how we can use date function here? So for that you can simply use date, and inside this I am passing my column name, which is timestamp, enter. So you can see it is printing the timestamp. Okay, likewise if you try to implement the same thing but on the column which is not valid, let's say if I am trying to fetch the date from current time, so is it possible? Let me check. It is current underscore time, so it is showing argument 1 of function date not valid. Why? Because we are trying to fetch the date from the current time, and this is my column name, right? Not the function, this is the column name. But how we can fetch the date from the time? It is not possible, right? So that's why it is showing argument 1 is not valid. So make sure whatever the value you are passing here, it should contain date, otherwise it will give such kind of errors. So if you pass the timestamp here, timestamp which contains the date, so from that date it will fetch the data and print the current date. Okay, so this is how we can utilize this date function in order to fetch the timestamp, in order to fetch the date from the timestamp. So by using this, we can simply hold our log data into one single column, which is current timestamp, and as per the requirement we can fetch the date in our program using date function. So yeah, that's all for this session. I hope it is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.